Okay, so we'll go to our Prezi's page. Let's create our new Prezi. I'm going to call it Pandas. Under description, I'm going to say this is information about the giant panda, and this is important. Put your name in here so I know whose Prezi I am grading. And click Create New Prezi. Right, it asks you what template you want to use. They have some, but I don't want any background here. I want to choose everything from scratch. So I'm going to choose blank and start editing. And all Prezi is a giant open white space that you can put little pieces of information on, and then you choose the path. You tell the camera which piece of information, which little image, which little piece of text to go to first, which to go to next, what to zoom in on, what to zoom out on. So you just have this entire large workspace that you start working from. It gets you started right here with the title. So I'm going to go ahead and double click like it says and add my text. And we're just going to call this Pandas. And click OK. You notice it's got title, subtitle, and then body. Right now it's on title, so click OK. Now this is kind of plain and boring if you don't use a template. So I suggest instead you change the fonts and colors, which gives you these themes. So you can choose Midnight, which will give you a black background, and these will be your text colors, this green and blue color. Or you could do Loud, will give you an orange background, and it deals with yellows and reds and stuff. I prefer to pick something less bright, like let's say I will choose Sketchy. Also notice the font, because the font shape and color is going to be part of what your page will look like. But we're going to choose one and then we're going to edit it a little bit. So I'm going to choose Sketchy because I like the shape of the text. Alright, and then I'm going to choose Theme Wizard. I've started with Sketchy, which is what it looks like. Right now Sketchy has a white background. I'm going to change that to pink. Alright, next, they're saying for Title 1, the font is now black. This is what Title 1 looks like. I'm going to make that a medium purple. Title 2, I'm going to make it dark purple. This is Title 2. And then the body text, which is this right here, and this right here is black. I think I'll just go to light gray. Sorry, yeah, darker gray. You could choose, because you've got a pink background, you could choose white text, but that's a little difficult to see. So make sure your contrast is there. If I want to go back and change my background color to something very dark, white text is perfectly appropriate. So just make sure that you have the contrast so you can see your text, but I'm going to stick with this pink. And so the text color needs to be a darker color. And dark gray is fine for me. Alright, and then finally, you're going to be setting the color of the frames. You have a circle frame, a bracket and rectangle frame, then arrow and lines that you can draw, and marker colors. So I'm going to make my circle frame, which is around Title 1 right now. I'm going to make that a greenish color. I'm going to make the bracket frames dark green. Now, let me change. I don't like that. There we go. And doesn't really contrast. There we go. We'll use the purple. I like purple. Alright, and then any arrows and lines you draw right now are set to be black, as you can see here. Let's make them really stand out. Make them red. And this is the line drawing. And then finally marker, that would be if you want to highlight some text. Let's go with yellow. Alright, so you can personalize the theme. You choose the theme that you want, and then you can personalize it and make it more interesting and more personal. Once you've finished all three of these settings, you've got the background color you're setting, and you can choose to add a logo. We're not going to do. The next one is the fonts and colors, and then finally there's the colors for your shapes and arrows and lines. So once you've got those all set how you want it, click done. Alright, so far I've got pandas. Very small text, I want it larger. So I just click on it to select it. This hand lets me move it wherever I want it. Plus sign makes it larger. The pencil allows me to edit it, so I can highlight it and I can change the actual color of the text if I don't like it. I can indent it some, or outdent. I can change the alignment, which just make sure you have your text actually selected. It has to be highlighted for any of that will work. And this is the title, so I'm going to click OK. And notice I've already got a frame here. I chose purple for my bracket frames. I also want an image here on my main title page, main title image. So I'm going to choose Insert, Image, and browse to the folder I've created and pick one of my Panda images, which is on the desktop, Panda Prezi. Let's do this one. It'll take a couple seconds to upload, and there it is. Clicking in the middle of it, you again get the hand that lets you move it. You've got these bars that let you rotate it. You've got Edit that lets you crop it if it's too big, which it's not. You can make it larger or smaller. And this frame I've got around here, you can also see by selecting it, I get that little dial that I can enlarge it as well. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with the layout and the design of the first thing that my users will see when I do my presentation.